We recommend that as a consumer, you exercise your due diligence and research all strategies recommended to you before adopting them in your own business. Please review our full disclaimer video and documents prior to viewing this video.
The graphical scheduling function gives you a convenient way to schedule work order steps using the resource availability views in a graph form. The drag-and-drop features of the graphical user interface reduces the amount of time spent on scheduling work order steps. You can determine the work schedule of a crew and adjust the schedule as the day's events dictate by manipulating scheduled steps. In Empac, open the Planning workbench twice, then select the Work Order PM Steps tab on both planning workbenches. Next, in the Filter field, located just above the Workbench tabs on the first Planning workbench, select the appropriate filter to open the work order backlog for your area from the drop-down list. On the second Planning workbench, select the appropriate filter to open the next week's schedule for your area from the drop-down list. You may get a pop-up window saying no rows were found meeting your criteria. Select the OK button to continue. On the first Planning workbench, Empac will return the open work order step data based on the filter's criteria. You can utilize the Sort button, located on the left side toolbar, to help organize the data. Next, you can use the column filter function in the Planning workbench to filter all the data rows to one of the column cells' value. Note, you can only column filter one column at a time. To do this function, select the cell in the column you wish to filter to. Next, right-click in that cell, a pop-up window will open, select Column Filter from the list. Select the work order steps that you want to schedule. You can select multiple steps by holding down your Shift or Control key on your keyboard when making your selections. Before you can schedule the work order status must be either in the ready or ready for scheduling state and have no schedule date assigned. With the selected work order steps, you can view how many person hours that you are about to schedule by selecting services from the top menu, then select the estimated person hours at the bottom of the list. A pop-up window will open, displaying the estimated step hours. To continue, select the OK button or close the pop-up window. Next, move the selected work order steps to graphical scheduling by going back to Services on top menu, then select the graphical scheduling from the list. The graphical scheduling window will open with the work order steps that you had selected displaying on the right side of the window. In the Crew field, at the top left side of the window, select the correct crew by using the drop-down list. Next, select the correct shift code from the drop-down list. Now, select the craft code from the drop-down list. On the calendar below, select the day of the week you want to schedule the work order steps on. The selected date is highlighted green. The number under the calendar date represents the number of craft hours available to schedule work. Please note, if the resource hours are 0, we can still schedule work order steps on that day. Some company sites do not manage their resource hours inside of Empac. Select the work steps on the right side of the window. To aid in selection, you can use your Shift and Control key like in Windows. When selecting the last work order step you wish to schedule, continue to hold down your left mouse button and drag the highlighted work orders down on the graph below. Release your mouse button, you should see the work order numbers disappearing from the above list. Continue with the scheduling process until all the work order steps have been scheduled from the list. To make schedule adjustments while the graphical scheduling window is open, go to Services on the top menu, and then to the Schedule Adjustments. An alternate way to make schedule adjustments when the graphical scheduling window is open is to select the scheduler adjuster icon on the left side toolbar. The schedule adjustment window will open. Select the work order step that you want to change the schedule date and double-click on that step to open it. The schedule list for the work order step number will open. Select the date field and double-click in the field to open a pop-up calendar. Select a new date using the calendar. Then select the OK button on the window menu. Close the graphical scheduler window and return to the planner workbench. Repeat the task scheduling process to schedule enough work to fill up available resource person hours for all your crafts and crews. Go to the second planning workbench. Next, on the second planning workbench, select the appropriate filter to open the next week's schedule for your area from the drop-down list. If you have already selected the filter earlier, then you can use the refresh button on the left-hand side toolbar. On the second planning workbench, Empac will return the list of scheduled work order step data based on the workbench's filters criteria. Please see next video on using the planning workbench to unscheduled or to complete work orders. This brings us to the end of how to use the graphical scheduler.
Thank you for watching. If you liked our videos, please subscribe and give us a thumbs up.